Right, good morning everybody. Welcome back to another Off the Beaten Track, and as you can see, it's not ideal golfing weather. And we're taking a bit of a chance, to be honest with you. I've got a 45-minute drive in pretty thick snow. The roads seem okay, and I'm going to try and track something down that I spotted a few weeks ago, and I just hope it's still here when I get there. All will be revealed very soon. So over the last few weeks, I've found that Ruthin has been it's an old market town in Wales, and it's been a regular stop-off of mine. And I came across a second-hand store, thrift shop, I think you call them in America, and I spotted quite a few older golf clubs that felt quite a bit of nostalgia around them. And I wished I'd have bought them when I seen them, because it was a couple of weeks before Christmas. And what I'm hoping is, first of all, is that they're still there and still for sale. We're about 50 yards away, so we're going to find out very soon. Well, the good news is, most bits seem to be there. But I've got to see how much he wants for them. Good morning. So, how are you, okay?
Fine, thanks, yeah, you?
I seen these a couple of weeks ago. I just wondered if you still have them for sale.
Yeah.
What is it, a mixed bag of all different types, is it? Assorted, yeah.
Those are assorted ones, yeah. Do you live local?
Not too far.
Most of your stuff is local, isn't it?
Oh, you do know what I do?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
of course I
yeah.
do, yeah.
Well, we're just filming a bit of it now, so I hope you don't
that's
mind.
right, no.
But would they all be classed as bullseye putters in terms of the styling?
Yeah, because they're all
That
bullseye,
marking, yeah.
and the
What
ones
era are these from?
These would be late 60s, mid 70s, most of them.
Okay. 25, they're 25. If we took the Browning irons as well, would you offer 100?
Yeah, I'll do that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Flat white extra hot.
That's me, that. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Great, thank you.
Lovely, thank you. That's nice. So we just popped literally across the road for a coffee in a place called Nest. It features pretty much every time I come through Ruthin. That place, by the way, was called Castle Bell. And I did it a disservice. It's not a thrift store. There's other things being sold. It's only the golf clubs that are second-hand in there. But we've got a few interesting bits, and the hardest part, if I'm honest, was trying to choose something, because it was like a kid in a sweet shop. Graham, by the way, speak to Graham, expert on this kind of stuff and vintage and restoration of clubs. Really nice fella. Anyway, quick coffee and then big reveal. Right, new bag has been assembled. It's literally putter through to put a forward in there. Let's have a look at these things. They are, first of all, caught my eye in the window. They're Browning 440 irons. And as I've since read, they were probably one of the first irons that looked at moving CG back. This is back in the 70s, by the way. So they've got quite a wide sole. They almost look to me like a bag full of what would be the modern day chipper. A super wide sole, the shallowest of faces, but they've got a bit of bulk on them, and you can see how they've achieved that sort of CG going backwards for those who are interested in sort of modern day tech. And like I said, the principles haven't changed in 50 odd years. I've took them to the driving range, and a few lads had a look at them, didn't fancy them at all. And I've got to say, I couldn't believe how well I hit them. Now, they don't go as far. They do launch very high. That CG placement is really working. So that was the irons. It was pitching wedge through to sand wedge through to 3 iron. Then we'll finish off the Browning set, because we got a 4 and a 5 wood. I mean, just what a lovely piece of kit. I don't know whether anybody knows the reference out of the screws. Well, when you hit a ball out of the screws, it comes from this type of club where the face was screwed in, or the centre of it was. There's a little bit of weighting in the back end again, which will help get that ball launched. But I mean, they're so tiny. 5 and a 4, like I said, wood. And when you put them behind the ball at address, they do put the fear of God up you, and we'll soon find out whether I can play golf with them or not. And then down the bottom end of the bag, we've got the bullseye putter, and he had quite a lot of these, and all nice and restored, shiny, and it was hard to pick something that I was sort of comfortable with. The one thing was we've got a little bit of offset with this version, this model, which meant that I feel like I could possibly make it work, whereas the others are very much just no offset whatsoever. The shaft just goes straight into the blade, and yeah, it seems very difficult. So we've got a bit of a chance with those. But what a stunning piece of kit. And then last but not least, and I've got them in the front of the car, so I'll put some overlays up for you now. We've got some golf balls that are in their wrappers. Again, just really, I don't know whether I'm going to ever play golf with these. We might end up just putting them on a shelf somewhere as a little bit of an ornament, and we might risk the odd one out on the fairways and see how they perform. But that's where we're at so far. Next up is get the golf shoes on, get on the golf course and see what they're like. But before I do that, I'm going from the, well, I was going to say the sublime to the ridiculous. Well, I'm going certainly from the 70s into the modern day, because I'm hopping inside to get custom fit for the new tailor-made driver, which is a far cry from this kind of thing, and it's just so interesting as to how this game has progressed in that period. But at the end of the day, one big thing I'll say about these is people say about how it's, you know, too expensive to play the game of golf. Well, it's not really, is it? Because you can pick yourself up. If there's a full set, I paid 100 quid. Well, the balls were 25 quid's worth. So, you know, that's a full set of clubs. They don't have to be brilliant to get you into this game. And anybody with those Brownings 440s, if you can hit a few balls with them, then I think you'd probably be all right with a modern day set as well. Anyway, tailor-made custom fit next. Come back and I'll hit a few of these out on the golf course. It's a bit chilly though. Right, before we go out there, I just want to say that fitting was incredibly good and they achieved some amazing results. So don't forget, we've got 2 channels on the go at the moment. The Average Golfer's Guide is where you see all kind of product reviews of all the new stuff that is led by data, so TrackMan kind of thing. And if you're into that, you need to keep an eye out for the new tailor-made review, because like I said, something quite interesting indeed. Anyway, let's get moving. Find a space somewhere out there on the golf course and hit these Brownings, see how they go. It's probably the one shot that feels more natural, because they look like a bag of chippers, as I once said, so let's see how they perform as a chipper. Just needed hitting a bit harder. The wide sole is actually a bit of a, you know, I mean, we talk about the modern wedge. I always talk about CBX wedges, the wide sole being a big help, and that kind of bounce off the turf. It helps you out big time, so I didn't get that quite right, but I love these things, you know. I'll tell you what this has taught me is that golf is very little to do with what clubs you've got in your bag. There's a lot more to it than that, and the enjoyment level I've had in playing these clubs. I took on the driving range the other day, loved every minute of it. Out on the golf course, I just enjoyed every bit of it. It's something a little bit different. It's maybe a little bit more challenging, but I'm also really surprised at how good these Browning irons have played. They launch the ball super high, and every modern golf club is doing its best to try and achieve that. They all want to launch the ball higher to help slower swing speeds. And I'm playing a club from the 70s that does exactly that. Arguably too high, but anyway, they're just a joy to play. I've not yet had a go of the fairway wood, so we're going to tee one up next and see how we get on with them. But it's bitterly cold, but there's plenty of fun to be had out on the golf course, and it's a great way to start the game. Like I said earlier, if you get good with these things, Jesus, stepping into some of the new stuff, then you're going to make the game feel easy to you. Right, that's it. New forward going in the bag. Nailed it right down the middle. How good is that? You know, the interesting thing about the putter is it feels fantastic. As good as any of the modern inserts or anything like that. It is, a little more reliant on a better putting stroke, if you like, because you really do have to concentrate on trying to keep that club face square. I think if you zip it forward to the modern day, all the efforts are zero torque, I suppose, is about keeping the club head square and more stable, less twisting, whatever you want to look at it. Whether you believe that or not, it doesn't really matter. But what you do notice with this type of putter is there's a concentration required, and it's probably a good thing. You'd probably become a better putter by using something like this, because, like I said, the concentration is making sure you're square at impact. And to me, irrelevant of what you're doing everywhere else, if you're square at impact and you've picked the right line with the right pace, then you'll still hold the putt. So it's a good training aid. I just want to take a minute to thank anybody who watches the Off the Beaten Track series. And the winter time, as I've said on many videos in the last few weeks, it's a pretty tough time to get anything creative going on. But what I can say from my perspective, it's given me a whole new lease of life to kind of like enjoy making videos again, videos like this that don't necessarily follow a set pattern. We're trying to make it up as we go along in many ways, just to you know, show you what goes on behind the scenes, I suppose. And yeah, it's not what we would normally be doing in Off the Beaten Track. We show off golf courses, and that'll return, but obviously there's the, you know, time and a place and the right kind of course, the right kind of conditions and all the rest of it. So when it brightens up a bit, we'll be back to the norm. But in the meantime, thanks for supporting this channel and this type of content, because it means a lot, and it's given me, like I said, a bit of a, I don't say kick up the backside, but this kind of, I was worried about this kind of content, and you know, not showing you everything that was just all on cinematic golf stuff, and it seems that you're accepting it, at least for the time being. So, and I'm finding it a better way to communicate with you as an audience as well, which is nice again, which I've missed a little bit as well. So it means a lot. Thanks for watching. Yeah, keep on. Don't forget liking, subscribing, commenting, hyping. Do what the hell you can to make this channel get bigger and this series get bigger. Now got trolley cam. Trolley cam, look at that. How exciting is that for footage? We don't hang around on this channel. State of the art stuff. I always like to pose a question in these videos and get you involved in the comments, and there's no photo of the week this week, but I would like to know, there's been it's the time, the silly season, when every manufacturer brings out new clubs. A lot of what, like I said, I was doing earlier today. How many of you are in that market to buy a new driver, new irons, whatever it may be this year? And how many of you are well, what's your thoughts on the price of the drivers? Because oddly enough, at a time when, you know, people are struggling financially, the cost of drivers, like everything else in life, has gone up. So yeah, I don't know, it's an odd one. We've got some drivers at some silly money, and let's collect me golf balls. Yeah, I don't know, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Anyway, let's get back. We're pretty much done, I think, this week, but we'll see what's left to cover. Interesting enough, by the way, on Friday, feature a little bit in next week's episode, I'm off to Gainsborough to visit Ping, because I'll be putting together some interesting series in the coming weeks where I'm trying to build the most forgiving golf bags for the average golfer. So something to keep your eye on. What has interested me when I've been doing this, walking around, I'm on my own today, is you sort of wonder, were the golfers more skillful golfers back in the day when they were trying to play golf with, well, clubs like this and whatever else they had in their hands? Because you would feel like the potentially, yes, I still miss massively golfers that used to shape the ball, flight the ball differently, and they did it really because they had to. You talk to modern golfers, or from the modern professional level, it's almost harder now to shape the ball. Well, it is harder now to shape the ball because of the ball and the way the clubs are built. They're not designed to do that, they're designed to go straight. It's really hard to do comparisons over the years, whether it's be football, comparing footballers, who's the best footballer ever. Well, they played very different games in the 70s, 80s than they do now. And then I thought about like Formula One. You know, you've got drivers, Ayrton Senna, Alan Prost, driving cars that were very different to the F1 of today. So yeah, it's very, and like I said, this golf club sort of thinks, I feel that the older golfer, the previous generations, had to be more skillful, but there you go. I probably would say that. That's not bad either. I mean, these clubs have been great fun to play. Oh, pin high. And I've enjoyed every bit of it. I don't necessarily have had to be any more skillful with the irons because they've been surprisingly good. I think the woods probably concentrate the mind a little bit more. They are minute. But again, you know, I found the centre of them pretty much most shots I've played. So, I don't know. So yeah, who are the best golfers ever? There's another question for you. One thing I've not managed to do is I've not managed to hole a putt. Oh my God, and this is not the easiest, to say the least. A bit of a rise. I think it's left to right is my read. Let's see if we can finish this video with a good putt. Come on, he's got it. Oh, I thought I had it. What a finish that would be. Well, it was a good read at least anyway. I love the putter, I love the irons, love the woods. I've just enjoyed it. It's going dark, I don't know if you can tell. And I've no idea what time it is, and that's really an indicator of how much fun I've had. I could play here all day with these things. But it's time to quit, I suppose, while we're ahead. They will certainly get another outing a good few times this year, and probably the best 100 quid I've spent for quite some time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said earlier on, a bit different. Whilst we sort of get to some better weather and more consistent weather really that we can plan stuff and have and be reliant on turning up. I don't want to travel up to Scotland and find out it's snowing. So we're just sitting tight at the minute. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have filming it. I'll see you all next Monday, and don't forget that other new channel, The Average Golfer's Guide. I need your support on that one. I'm always asking for something. Thank God I didn't miss that. That would have been a terrible end to the video.